Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, so you never miss a play the Washington Commanders have made. A savvy move by signing 8-time Pro Bowler Von Miller ahead of their training camp, instantly adding firepower to their pass-rushing arsenal. Miller, a future Hall of Famer, brings a wealth of experience and skill, even if he's not the relentless every-down edge rusher he once was in his prime. The Commanders know exactly what they're getting: a specialized player to target critical passing situations, not a workhorse expected to dominate every snap. While Miller's availability has been a concern recently, with injuries limiting his game time to just 36 contests over the past 3 years, Washington isn't sweating it. They are embracing his strengths and managing his workload smartly. A strategy that fits perfectly with Dan Quinn's coaching style and the team's defensive philosophy. This signing isn't about quantity but quality, focused on extracting maximum impact during high-leverage moments, making Miller a valuable addition despite his recent limitations. Miller's injury history and reduced snap count have understandably raised eyebrows, but the Commanders' front office and coaching staff see the bigger picture. Over the last few seasons, Miller hasn't played more than half of the defensive snaps in any regular season game since Week 11 of 2022, largely due to a blend of injuries and load management. Yet, his reduced playing time hasn't diminished his effectiveness when on the field, especially in the playoffs. In fact, he has played 50% or more of defensive snaps in 5 of 9 playoff games over this period, proving he can still perform at a high level when it matters most. Washington is banking on this playoff-caliber production, trusting Miller to deliver in pivotal moments without the need for him to be a full-time player. This approach aligns perfectly with Dan Quinn's ability to manage veteran players and deploy their talents strategically. Dan Quinn and defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr. are renowned for their precise game planning and veteran management, so it's no surprise they have a clear plan in place for Miller before he even steps foot in Washington. The Commanders needed a speed rusher who could come off the edge with explosive bursts to compensate for the loss of 10.5 sacks from Dante Fowler Jr. during the offseason. Miller fits that role ideally. Last season, despite being 36 years old, Miller racked up 6 sacks and 32 pressures on just 209 pass rush snaps with the Buffalo Bills, showcasing his continued pass rushing prowess. His 16.1% pressure rate ranked 10th in the league among players with significant pass rush snaps, proving he remains a threat. Quinn's strategy will likely see Miller deployed primarily on passing downs, utilizing his signature spin move to disrupt opposing quarterbacks and create turnovers. General Manager Adam Peters demonstrated keen roster-building insight by choosing Miller over pricier, every-down edge rushers like Za'Darius Smith or Trey Hendrickson. Smith, a physical powerhouse, commands a larger paycheck and would require the Commanders to invest more cap space and resources. Hendrickson, meanwhile, though flashy and effective, would have necessitated a significant trade or contract investment. That doesn't fit the Commanders' longer-term vision, especially with a roster already heading into a veteran-heavy phase. Peters' decision to opt for Miller reflects a thoughtful balance between immediate production and future flexibility. This low-risk, high-reward signing means Washington can bolster its pass rush without mortgaging its future draft capital or salary cap space, an essential factor given the team's anticipated roster negotiations in the coming offseason. Paying big money for a player like Hendrickson would have potentially hamstrung Washington's ability to retain key contributors like Terry McLaurin, Laramie Tunsil, Marshon Lattimore, and Deebo Samuel in the near future. The Commanders are keenly aware of the delicate financial tightrope they must walk, ensuring they remain competitive this season without compromising their capacity to build a sustainable roster moving forward. By bringing in Miller, Peters has secured a proven pass rusher at a more affordable price point, one who can also serve as a mentor to younger defensive linemen. Miller's veteran presence and leadership could prove invaluable in grooming emerging talents on the roster, enhancing the overall defense beyond just his on-field contributions. The Commanders' pass rush struggled to close out games last season, recording just 5 sacks in the fourth quarter. This is a glaring weakness they cannot afford with a tougher schedule looming ahead. Miller's track record of shining in the biggest moments throughout his career is precisely why he's now a Commander. His ability to produce high-impact plays when it counts most will be crucial for Washington's hopes of winning close contests and pushing deeper into the playoffs. Miller's experience, combined with strategic deployment, could transform the Commanders' pass rush into a weapon that changes the course of tight games. Something that was missing in previous seasons, Miller's signing also sends a message about the Commanders' approach to roster construction and game management under Dan Quinn. Rather than chase headline-grabbing acquisitions, they've opted for calculated, purpose-driven moves that maximize value and fit specific team needs. This pragmatic strategy reflects a mature organization focused on sustainable success, rather than short-term flash. With Miller on board, Washington gains a veteran edge rusher who knows how to win at the highest level, bringing not just talent, but also a winning mentality and professionalism to a team hungry for postseason success. It's a smart, low-risk signing that fits the Commanders' blueprint for a playoff-ready defense. From a tactical perspective, Miller's role will be specialized, emphasizing passing downs in critical moments rather than a full-time presence. On the field, this focused usage allows the Commanders to keep him fresh and effective, minimizing injury risk while maximizing his impact. The ability to dial up Miller's pass rush in clutch situations adds a valuable weapon to the defensive coordinator's arsenal. Opponents will have to game plan around Miller's sporadic but potent presence, disrupting their offensive rhythm. It's a win-win scenario that leverages Miller's unique talents while addressing the team's need for a reliable, explosive edge rusher without overcommitting resources or snaps. The excitement around Miller's arrival extends beyond his individual skill set. It's about the intangible boost he provides to the locker room and the defense as a whole. Veteran leadership is a crucial ingredient for teams with playoff aspiration, and Miller's championship pedigree offers a blueprint for younger players to emulate. His experience in big games and ability to stay poised under pressure can elevate the entire defensive unit's confidence and performance. This mentorship role complements his on-field contributions, making him a multifaceted asset. Washington's defense stands to gain not just from Miller's sacks and pressures, but also from his wisdom and guidance, setting the stage for a more resilient and cohesive unit. In summary, Von Miller's signing by the Washington Commanders is a calculated, strategic move that aligns with the team's current needs and future plans. While he may not be the every-down terror he once was, Miller's ability to produce high-impact plays in key moments makes him a perfect fit for Dan Quinn's defense. His injury history and limited snaps aren't a concern, given the Commanders' careful management approach and specific role for him. By choosing Miller over pricier alternatives, Washington balances immediate pass rush help with long-term roster flexibility. Miller's veteran presence and playoff experience bolster a defense that struggled to close games last year, injecting optimism and firepower ahead of a challenging season. This signing embodies smart, forward-thinking football, with the Commanders positioned to reap the rewards on and off the field. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. A shocking rupture appears to be brewing within the Commanders organization, sending ripples through the NFL world as Terry McLaurin reportedly severs ties with quarterback Jayden Daniels, demanding a fresh offensive direction. Sources close to the team suggest that tensions have been simmering for some time, with McLaurin growing increasingly frustrated over the lack of chemistry and offensive productivity since Daniels took over under center. The wide receiver, known for his competitive fire and leadership, is said to have made his feelings clear to the front office, signaling that he no longer believes the current offensive scheme can maximize his talents or the team's potential. This developing saga has fans and analysts buzzing, with many speculating that McLaurin's bold stance could force major changes within the Commanders' offensive coaching staff, or even shake up the quarterback position altogether. If true, this fissure could mark a turning point for the franchise, as internal discord often precedes significant upheaval. Insiders hint that the conflict goes deeper than mere player frustration, suggesting that McLaurin's demands are part of a larger push to reshape the team's offensive philosophy. He reportedly wants a more aggressive, dynamic approach that plays to his strengths as a route runner and deep threat, which some feel has been stifled by the current conservative play calling. The timing of this discord raises eyebrows since Daniels, a relatively new addition, was expected to energize the offense with fresh legs and a different style. Instead, the lack of on-field chemistry seems to have created a divide that threatens to undermine team cohesion. This tension could complicate the Commanders' efforts to build around Daniels, potentially forcing management to reassess their quarterback plans or revamp offensive personnel to accommodate McLaurin's vision, adding fuel to the fire. Reports indicate that McLaurin's dissatisfaction has spilled over into the locker room, with teammates allegedly sensing a shift in his attitude and commitment. This internal drama is particularly notable given McLaurin's status as one of the Commanders' most reliable and vocal leaders in recent years. His apparent readiness to challenge the status quo, even at the risk of public scrutiny, speaks volumes about his conviction that change is necessary for the team's success. Such a bold move from a player of his caliber is rare and suggests that the current offensive direction may indeed be failing at a fundamental level. The question now becomes how the coaching staff and front office will respond to these demands, and whether they will attempt to quell the unrest or embrace the overhaul McLaurin is pushing for. Some speculate that this schism could herald a coaching shake-up, with the offensive coordinator's job potentially on the line if McLaurin's grievances continue to gain traction. The Commanders' offensive struggles have been well documented, and McLaurin's public stance might be the tipping point that forces the organization to reevaluate their play calling and strategic approach. Given McLaurin's influence and the importance of keeping star players happy, the team could be compelled to bring in new offensive minds who can better align with the receiver's style and ambitions. Alternatively, if the front office sides with Daniels and the existing scheme, this impasse could lead to McLaurin seeking a trade or demanding further concessions. Either scenario signals a period of uncertainty and potential transformation for the Commanders. Rumors have also emerged about McLaurin's potential destinations if the Commanders decide that a parting of ways is the best course. Several teams reportedly interested in acquiring a wide receiver of his caliber could make offers, and McLaurin's willingness to sever ties might be a strategic move to increase his market value. Meanwhile, Daniels' future as the starting quarterback could also be questioned, especially if McLaurin's absence would significantly diminish the offense's potency. The interplay of these possibilities has ignited speculation about a domino effect within the Commanders' roster, possibly leading to multiple trades or signings aimed at stabilizing the offense and appeasing fan concerns. This off-field drama underscores how fragile team dynamics can be when star players feel marginalized or unheard. Analysts point out that the Commanders' management now faces a delicate balancing act between preserving team unity and respecting McLaurin's outspoken demands. How the organization navigates this conflict will likely influence their reputation among players and agents in the wider league, as handling star players' grievances with sensitivity and decisiveness can either strengthen or damage relationships. The front office's next moves will be closely scrutinized, with fans eagerly awaiting whether they opt for a bold overhaul or attempt to patch things up quietly behind the scenes. McLaurin's ultimatum has created a high-stakes scenario, placing pressure on the Commanders to demonstrate that they can manage internal challenges effectively while staying competitive on the field. The ripple effects of this internal rift could extend beyond the Commanders, potentially affecting player morale and performance across the roster. Football is a team sport, but when a leading figure openly questions the quarterback and offensive strategy, it can sow seeds of doubt and unrest. Coaches may find it harder to maintain discipline and focus if players begin to pick sides or lose faith in the team's direction. The Commanders' locker room environment might become a hotbed of speculation and tension, as players wonder whether more changes are coming and who will emerge as the new leaders. Such a charged atmosphere often impacts performance negatively, making the resolution of this situation critical for the team's playoff ambitions and overall success. Meanwhile, fans have taken to social media to voice their opinions, with many showing support for McLaurin's boldness in demanding change, while others worry that such internal conflicts could derail the Commanders' season. The passionate debate reflects the deep emotional investment supporters have in the team's success and their desire for transparency about what's really happening behind the scenes. Some fans argue that McLaurin's stance might push the Commanders to become more competitive and exciting offensively, while others fear it signals deeper dysfunction that could take time to fix. This public scrutiny adds another layer of pressure on the Commanders' leadership to act decisively and communicate effectively with their fanbase moving forward. As this story develops, all eyes remain on the Commanders' next moves in the coming days and weeks. Whether this rupture leads to meaningful changes or merely a temporary flare-up, it has undeniably shaken the foundations of the team's offense. The drama surrounding Terry McLaurin and Jayden Daniels highlights the fragile nature of team chemistry and how quickly things can unravel when star players and coaching philosophies clash. For Commanders fans and NFL observers alike, this situation serves as a reminder that success in professional sports often hinges not just on talent, but on alignment, trust, and the ability to adapt to evolving challenges. The next chapter of this saga will be critical in defining the commander's future trajectory. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the commander's news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the commanders.